Have you ever wondered how professionals get really great sounding reverb on their vocal chains? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a really helpful tip to get that reverb sounding like butter. Hello, my name is Maddie, your maestro of music production. I'm a professional music producer here to help you make better sounding music and help you on your musical journey. If you're interested in upping your home studio game, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on content like this. I make new content like this every week that's going to help you make your music sound awesome. Without any further ado, let's hop in and discover how we can get some really great sounding vocal reverbs on our voice. Let's take a listen to the track we're working with today. This is a custom song sung, produced, and written by me, and it was for a client of mine that wanted a personal song for their husband, so some of the lyrics are a little bit sappy and personal, but nonetheless, here it is.
So fun, we've got our favorite places, we've got our favorite tunes, but yeah, our favorite person who has always been you.
Cool. We're gonna take this verse and we're gonna make this reverb way more prominent, and I'm gonna show you how to get it sounding really nice. By the way, I'm only gonna be using Logic stock plugins. I normally wouldn't just use Logic stock plugins. There are some reverb plugins that sound really good. For this tutorial, I'm going to. Let's get rid of our current buses here, because this is how we're going to be doing this technique, is bussing audio. But in short terms, we're going to send our bus to a different track, like a bus track, and then we'll mix in the balancing levels of them as we see fit. On bus 20 will be our first reverb. On bus 21 will be our second reverb. We're going to name this track main verse vocals. Now, we're going to click on bus 20 and make sure bus 20 is selected here. We're going to click on Space Designer right here, and we're going to add our reverb. This first reverb is going to be a large space. One trick that I like to do for my vocal reverbs is having multiple reverbs for different purposes. One reverb will be more of a slapback reverb or a really short reverb, and the other will be a really large reverb, and then we can blend the two together as we see fit. For this one, I'm actually going to use a medium space, a room. Let's click medium sweet, sure, all the way up on the wet, and now we can adjust it here.
Got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams.
Perfect. Now for our short reverb, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to change the preset. Small spaces, halls, small hall, wet, all the way up. Now let's
Got
what this.
so many
Turn this one
kids
off.
now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Dom and Dax to fill in every piece.
Perfect. What we're going to do for these reverbs, before our actual reverb, we're going to add a transient shaper. The transient shaper in Logic is called the enveloper. So we'll click on enveloper here. And a transient shaper is exactly what it sounds. A transient is the initial attack of any audio waveform. And if we get rid of that initial attack, that means that the reverb is going to be a little bit more washed out. It's not going to have that sharpness to it like it might have had before. In order to do that, with this enveloper plugin, we're going to take the gain of this first part down, and you can see the waveform is kind of being cut off there. We're kind of making a fade in automatically on every single part.
Got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams.
It's already a little bit smoother, which is great. The next tip that I want to give is in these bus tracks is to EQ the reverb afterwards.
Got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Dom and Dax.
I just added a little bit of high end and got rid of some low end. With the enveloper here, we're getting rid of a lot of gain at the beginning. Awesome. It's already sounding better. And here is where the trick that I wanted to teach you that a lot of pros use. Now, for the best results, I recommend automating this reverb to the track. And you can do that by clicking A, going here, going to main, going to send one, and going to absolute. And then you can use this to actually add in reverbs for every single tail. So take a listen to this.
At the seams. There's money, Maddie,
And then I'll come back to the normal. And then at the very end of this one, I'll pop it up.
Dom and Dax to fill in every piece.
Perfect. But that can be kind of tedious. To get some similar results with a little bit less work, we can automate this. We can automate the automation, if that makes sense, by using a compressor. So I'm going to turn off this automation here, and I am going to go into our bus. Oh, I noticed I only did this on bus 21, so let's do it on both buses. We can scroll over here, enveloper, and what we're going to do after all of this is we're going to sidechain compress it to the main verse vocals. And what that's going to do is when the audio is playing of main verse vocals, it will duck down the audio signal of the reverb. When it's not, it will expand it, which will help fill in the spaces. So let's click here, dynamics. We'll go sidechain, audio. Let's find our, where is it? Main verse vocals, perfect.
Got so many
Adjust the threshold.
kids now.
You can adjust the release time so that it holds on a little longer.
At the seams. There's
Perfect. We want the attack time to be sort of around
There's
there.
money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece. How'd she get so lucky? She
I'm looking for about maybe 5 to 10 dBs of gain.
wonders to herself.
I also want to turn off the auto gain. I forgot to do that because it can be a little bit too much sometimes.
There's money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece. How'd she get
What we can do is just copy that same plugin by holding Alt, dragging it over, and bada bang, we have it on both.
They've got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece.
I want to make this more prominent, and so what I'm going to do is adjust the ratio more and add that same one again.
Got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece. How'd she get so lucky? She wonders to herself. After 10 years spent together, he still makes her heart melt. He'll always be.
Perfect. Now we can adjust the bus even more and just see what it sounds like.
They've got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece.
So I sidechained it to that same thing. I saved myself some time. As I said before, if you automate it yourself, you'll get better results. But take this same technique, you can do it with delays as well. So I can fill in this delay here. I'm going to use these same settings, enveloper, space designer, channel EQ, compressor. But instead of space designer, I'm going to go to delay, stereo delay. Make sure the output are 100% left to right. Perfect.
How'd she so
Now I can adjust it to
many
taste.
kids now, they're bursting at
It sounds pretty dry though, so what I can do is add a space designer after the delay to give it a little bit of wetness.
the seams. There's money, Maddie,
I also don't like how high I'm hearing it. I want the delay to be a little bit more mid-rangey.
Diamond Dax to fill in every piece.
Perfect. Sounding good already. Let's listen before and after with these 3 buses we just made using stock plugins.
They've got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams. There's money, Maddie, Diamond Dax to fill in every piece. They've got so many kids now, they're bursting at the seams.
Perfect. Now for this video and this tutorial, I overdid the reverb more than I would normally like. I really like a dry vocal so that it sits at the front of the mix. But this tutorial is about reverb on vocals, so there you go. That is something I use all the time. I sidechain my buses to my vocals so that I save on actual automation. When I'm working with clients and I'm in a time crunch, that is what I use. But if I want the best result possible, I will automate it. And that is something that all of the pros are doing as well. They're filling in every space with a little bit more reverb so that it stays interesting. If you want to hear more tips like this, hit the like button down below because that lets me know that this is the type of videos you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.